Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing amazing. Today's read is actually a channeled message, so I will be clarifying with a couple of oracles as well as tarot. But the channeled message that is coming through here is some of you are asking for a sign. You're asking for a sign when it comes to, am I on the right path? Am I going in the right direction? The reason that you may be asking for this sign is there is a level of uncertainty in your current situation. Okay, so whether it's you're in the process of a rebirth, right? So there is some form of release associated with it. And it could feel difficult because you are shedding old skin, but you're stepping into maybe a new version of yourself, or it could be a new environment or a new situation. But many of you do feel a level of uncertainty. And you could feel like your emotions are kind of hitting you all at once, or you feel a bit all over the place here. Okay, this could be a time where you are a lot more or feeling more sensitive than you usually do, or your emotions are heightened. Okay, and it's because you are going through a transition here, but there is something about wanting a confirmation or a sign or to know that you are headed in the right direction. So let's see. Okay, so we have be interdependent, expand your horizons. Many of you are forming new connections. This could be a great time for, networking here. But for others of you, you could specifically be making connections with people who are at a distance from you. So there could be something to do with travel or something with physical distances coming up here. It could be a lot of online communication as well. You could be receiving an offer, but it may require you to relocate, like physically. Okay. This card is also giving me the energy of thinking outside the box. Some of you feel a level of uncertainty because you have done something the same way, or it could be that there is a pattern in your life that was very hard for you to break out of here. Okay, but this is about thinking outside the box. And for some of you, it's an idea that you have, but it's not. I'm not receiving the message of changing the idea entirely. Instead, I'm receiving an energy of needing to change the approach. So it could even be something small, but it will lead to a large change here. I also see here that some of you could be picking up on, something new here, like a course or a skill, or just expanding your knowledge in something that you feel is, intriguing here. So let's see. So we have the dove. Feel and allow a deeper sense of peace to fill you now. This is a divine quality. You have a lot around you that, you feel like you should be, grateful for, but there could be some sort of a block that you feel, or you are maybe focusing on something that did not work out in your favor in the past. But what I'm seeing is, this is not just an energy of pouring into yourself, but I think the more that you do that, you're receiving clarity about your path or purpose here. Some of you could feel confused because, like I said, you are in the midst of a transition or transformation here, even though it's internal, but there could be physical changes as well that you're trying your best to adapt to. So I'm not saying that this is an easy thing to do, but I feel the more you pour into yourself, the more clarity you're receiving when it comes to your life and connections here. The other thing that I see, guys, this is very specific, but some of you could quite literally be doing something that's creating a block for you energetically. So there's a sign that is trying to come through, or your intuition is trying to tell you something. So either you're having a hard time trusting your intuition at this time, or there's a message trying to come through, but you're not receiving it clearly. Okay. Let's see. Changing a habit or getting out of a pattern could also help you remove this energetic block. So we have Soar. It says, you're being asked to stop dimming your own light, period. It's time for you to come out of the shadows. Come out. Yeah, I think they meant of the shadows. And let your authentic self soar. Fly high, dear one. Fly high, dear one. Okay. being comfortable with who you are. And maybe if this is associated with an idea, there could be people around you that currently don't agree with this idea, but it's not, their choice or their decision here when it comes to what you want to do, right? But I do see here, guys, that like some of you could have been playing it small, or there's an aspect of you or something that you're very skilled at, but you're not entirely open about it. So whether it's an insecurity or it's the opinion of others, there's something about just owning what's different about you and, being grateful that you possess those unique qualities as well. And I think that the more you allow yourself to just do the things you feel like doing and do the things that you feel is right, and the more you listen to your intuition, you're going to see more success or see more results in your passions and career here. So whether it's playing it small or there's something different that you want to do, but you have been a little afraid here, I think that it's only going to lead to something positive. The things that make you different, right? The unique qualities that you possess are going to be the reason why something is successful for you. So it's about owning it is the best way for me to boil down this message. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. There's also a very strong message of, owning your power, knowing what you're capable of and what you bring to the table, but there's also a very strong energy of working with others. So again, there's this message about networking or collaborating with others that could really help you as well. Whether it's, I'm speaking to some of you that feel like you're kind of like a lone wolf or you don't have the largest social circle, there's something about getting out more or expanding your social circle in one way or another, even if it's through social media, so that I feel like it would result in something very positive. Like collaboration seems to be something that will make you feel a lot more optimistic about your goals. There could be people around you, specifically online, I'm receiving here, that could actually assist you in a very positive way. So we have the Queen of Cups, and that's interesting because I was saying trust your intuition, and the Queen of Cups is, an energy of trusting your intuition, trusting your heart, and following it as well. And then we have the World card. Definitely something to do with travel, guys. So like either you could be physically relocating or you're traveling for a job here. But once you learn to trust your gut, your world will change, your inner world, and then it will, reflect on the external as well. You're having, a gut feeling about something for a reason, or you're receiving persistent signs about, whether it's one thing or multiple things for a reason, but it's just about trusting that and knowing. It's almost like an inner knowing. Some of you could be looking for confirmation outside of yourself, but I do see that it's an inner knowing that's going to take you very far or create a very large shift for you energetically. Okay, let's see. The World card, okay. And the Four of Wands. You're coming into alignment with exactly what you want. The reason why there's uncertainty is because you're still in the process of accepting what you need to let go of, or you're still in the process of healing from something that you have, walked away from here, right? Habits, just a past version of yourself. You're creating this. It almost seems to me that you have this vision of what your future looks like, and you're absolutely right, but you may have a hard time trusting your gut because of the uncertainty that you feel while you're still, going through the process here. There's something about slow and steady progress as well. So some of you, even if you're not seeing your desired results in the current moment, it doesn't mean that it's not going to come in. Usually things that are worth keeping, they take some time, right? It's not like an overnight process here. Six of Pentacles. I see that you're not going to have to do something alone anymore. I see that someone is either coming in to help you. This could be financial assistance, but it could also be someone who is, very knowledgeable, for example, on something that you're interested in, and it helps you generate some sort of income. But I do see help and assistance around you. You're also being viewed as someone who's very nurturing, very giving. You care about those around you, or you try to help them when they're in a space of, need. And some of you could be doing some sort of, charity work or giving back to the, like if it's giving back to your community, but you're receiving more because you're, freely giving. Yeah. Queen of Cups, following your heart is like a very strong message here. Yeah, and the Four of Wands, Seven of Swords. I would also suggest that, if you have anything new that you're coming up with, anything that you are, working on, just manifestations or goals, it would be a time to keep it to yourself. It would be something that you want to complete. For example, if it's a project, prior to speaking on it. As you're in this position of, okay, I'm changing things, things in my environment are changing, but there's also a lot of changes going on internally, you may be releasing connections, whether they be romantic or platonic. So as you're releasing these connections, you have to keep in mind that even if people around you or energies around you are viewing you as, changing and they're not fond of it, there's something about keeping your goals or what you're moving towards to yourself. Right now is not a time to communicate what you're doing. Right now is not a time to, just trust anyone that crosses your path here. We have the Devil. What's the Devil? The Ten of Swords. The worst part of a situation, the worst season, here is over. I'm strongly getting that. And yes, it feels difficult because you're accepting that, you're going through almost like what feels like a rebirth. And it could feel very difficult to process those emotions, or you feel very heavy this week. And I also feel, yes, it's leading to positivity, but many of you, your emotions your emotions are heightened, or you're feeling a lot more sensitive than you usually do. And it's important not to make any decisions while you are in that space. Feel your emotions, but allow them to pass through you. Don't dwell on them, or don't hold on to it and, suppress it. Some of you, finding a way to release those emotions would be helpful too. What's the Queen of Cups? The Five of Cups and the Two of Cups. Yes, it may feel difficult to leave behind, past connections and past, things or patterns that you feel like were very difficult to walk away from, but you're moving towards something much better. And when you are aligning with your highest self, there is a very tough period where, this is what occurs, where you have to accept that things are no longer for you. And it's a very difficult thing to do, but it's also very, very rewarding is what I'm seeing here. And the Two of Cups, guys, it could speak about, a romantic partnership or connections coming in for you where you feel like you're meeting like-minded people and people who have the same goals as you, right? But this card also touches on listening to your higher self. So I think it's a persistent message about removing a block here, or paying attention to, your gut and following your heart. It's not about what someone else thinks or, the opinions around you. It's about what do you want and what makes you happy, and having an inner knowing that it's going to work out. Some of you have that inner knowing, but you're not trusting it. Whether it's because things have not worked out for you in the past, or it's a space of, well, I'm very uncertain in the current moment. Seven of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, okay, and the Hierophant. There's an opportunity for growth here, specifically when it comes to your career, but it could be an offer that starts off very small. So whether it's like a connection that you're building with someone, or it's a job offer, but it has the potential to turn into something much larger here. Many of you are ready for the next phase in your life. You just need to truly accept it. And the emotions that you're feeling, even if they feel very heavy or draining, it's important to feel them so that you can heal and work through them. Because the more you try to run from something that's that's being presented to you, it's just going to hit you full throttle, and it's going to feel very overwhelming. This is about, feeling ready for the next step. It's also a card of inner knowing. Definitely speaking to those of you that are, elevating, right? You're ready for the next step here. But I think that the main message I was getting, even as the channeled message here, is just you are asking for a sign. And yes, you are on the right path. Yes, you are exactly where you need to be. Yes, things are looking up, and you're very close to the next step or the next phase here. And sure, things could feel uncertain in the current moment, but just because they feel uncertain, it doesn't mean that you're going in the wrong direction. Leaving your comfort zone could be a very difficult thing to do. But what I see on the other side of your comfort zone is something that can make you a future that makes you very happy, right? And the most difficult part is just going through that transformation, right? That transition period. But I see a very positive future. I also see a future where you are not looking for some form of external validation, or you are not affected or impacted by the opinion of others. It's a I know what I'm doing kind of energy. I am trusting my gut. I am trusting my heart. What's this 10 of Swords? The 9 of Wands. Taking the lessons that you've learned and moving forward. 9 of Wands is like that wounded warrior energy. You've gone through a lot, right? And so you could feel very drained, but you're still choosing to fight. You're still choosing to rise above. And that alone is taking you very far here. It's the 4 of Wands, the 3 of Cups. Yeah, definitely see a lot more positive connections and connecting with like-minded people. And for some of you, it could be a specific connection where the both of you have or are working towards the same goal here. Okay. So let's see if we can get an angel number for you guys. 1551. Okay, so that you guys could be seeing this number here. Hold your vision, manifestation, abundance, money, dreams, vision, and prosperity. Focus on the good and maintain your concentration on the outcomes you desire. And I did touch on, guys, like there's a lot that you are, or there's a lot going on for you that you should be grateful for, but maybe there is something negative that's consuming you, right? So this is this is just confirmation on what I was saying, to focus on the good, right? When you focus on the good gets better. But if you tend to worry or focus on the negative aspects, that's what's going to be highlighted. It's time to put your faith and time into your ideas and pursue your goals with all your might. You have such a beautiful, courageous, and brave spirit. Yep. So this is just confirming what I was saying here, holding your vision, even if, the area in your life or what you're going through currently feels very difficult. Just remember the bigger picture. And as long as you're continuing to work towards it, even if some days feel heavier than others, you're going to get to your desired destination here. And then it says manifestations, abundance, money, dreams. Yep. The best way for me to explain this, guys, is like, you want something because you already have it, or your desire for something is there because you're able to attain it. It's not far-fetched. Okay. So that is what I'm getting for you guys. I really do hope you were able to find a message that resonated with you here today. And thank you so much for your time.